Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 of Her Lie I Tried to Believe. So let me just load this up real quick. Right. We left off where we were going to go to Las Vegas, and we're just on our way there right now. And I think we're in chapter 8, which is called Las Vegas. So, yeah, let's get into it. Actually, wait. Before I go into it, I know the last video was an hour and a half long. I'm so sorry. That was actually... I got way too immersed into the story and I just lost track of time. Like, it's a good story, not gonna lie. I don't know if it's just me or not, but I mean, I think it's a really good story and I'm really intrigued to see what happens to the two main characters here. So, yeah, let's just try and get into it. I'll try and make this maybe an hour or half an hour. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I do have something to do afterwards, so we'll see how far we get. So let's start this off. All right. So it took us another day and a half to arrive at our destination. So 3 days in all. 3 days all in all. Since it was on Friday night that we've eloped, like Cassandra loved so much to say, we were now obviously Monday, late in the evening. The moment we entered the core of the city, she became ecstatic. At every street corner, she would be like, "Ooh," or "Look, look, look, it's so beautiful," or again, "I want to go there. Let's go there, all right?" And every time I would just keep my eyes on the road, half listening to her. And when I feel like she's pestering me too much, I would simply say something like, "We need to find a place to crash first. Be patient, all right?" She was so excited about trivial things that I started wondering what kind of life she had led up until then. She was a prostitute, right? Then why do I feel so much like I'm with a kid somehow? Was it really a good thing to bring her with me? To bring her into such a place? One thing we didn't have to worry about though was our budget. I had lots of economy from the old part-time job as well as my current one. Well, current might not be the case anymore, but whatever. Since I lived my life up until then pretty much modestly, or more like pathetically, I had more than enough for the both of us for quite a respectable amount of time. Sorry again, you know, I know I put a warning in the first video about me reading and narrating the story, and I apologize again. I'm bad. But, you know, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Okay. Obviously, the first place we decided to hit was the mandatory casino. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to see here, so... We've drunk a lot, and when I mean a lot, I mean we didn't as much as think of ever stopping throughout the night. She looked at everything with eyes full of curiosity. The old people on their slot machines would be very intriguing to her. She would gaze at them for 30 minutes without end. And when I asked her if she wanted to try, she looked at me with a smile and said, "They look so pathetic, it's almost pitiful. But when you think about it, aren't we the same? We pass our lives routinely doing the same emotionless movements, forgetting even about the meaning behind it. I wonder, if there's a God, wouldn't he look at us with the same pity?" I walked closer to her, put my hand on her head, and looked at her silently. I wanted to somehow comfort her, but no words came to mind. That's when she continued. As long as we're together, let's not do this, all right? I want this to be special. Us. You don't need to force yourself. You don't need to love me, but at least make sure we never forget, all right? Never forget the reason we're here right now. All right. Never. I promise. I took her by the hand and led her throughout this maze of bright and colorful machines. But was it a good thing to ascertain her wish? I mean, not forgetting the reasons why we're here would mean we would always be fearing to be found, always running. Or maybe that's what she wanted. She would also look at me with a great interest when playing blackjack. She didn't know the rules, but the moment I explained to her, she would try and help me sometimes, and she was smart. Oh, for that she was. I almost forgot how she was at the top of our school once. To think that she had become so innocent, or maybe she's always been. But the way I imagined her at the time, I thought she was a strong-willed woman that could do anything if she put her mind to it. But I couldn't have been more wrong. She was fragile, delicate, and pure. Any man would have been better for her. Any man. Yet she's unlucky enough to choose me out of all of them. The moment we started to become really wasted was the moment everything started to slowly crumble. I had to go to the washroom because of the alcohol, obviously. And the instant I got out of it, I saw her speaking with another man. Well, okay, she wasn't speaking to him more than he was trying to hit on her, but whatever. Her eyes were different than when she was with me. She had a stern expression, cold as ice. It was obviously she was trying to get rid of him, but he seemed persistent. I came up to them and asked her if she knew him. I don't. He was actually about to leave, right? Oh, so he's your boyfriend? Sorry, man. It's such a beautiful woman you have there. I couldn't pass by her without at least trying. He looked at me with that expression, as if what he did was the most natural thing in the world. What did he ask of you? I asked her plainly. Nothing. Answer me! I shouted, not minding the people around us. Obviously, most of them did turn around by my sudden outburst. She didn't want to answer, but knowing me, she finally looked down and said, "He asked me how much it was for the night. You just treated her like her as a prostitute?" I'm sorry, he repeated back again. But as I said, she's a very attractive girl, so... Leave. I said emotionlessly, and without waiting, I repeated the order again. I said, leave. He replied to me, okay, no need to be so cold, jeez, you're meant to be together, you two. I wasn't talking to you. Cass, leave. Wait for me outside while I deal with this bitch. What did you just say? The man became visibly agitated the moment he understood my words. No, Tim, come with me. I don't want to be alone. I don't care how he treated me. Just come, alright? Let's stay together. I took a stance, no longer minding her presence next to me. She started hugging me from behind, probably by fear of jumping on the guy. What are you doing? Stop, you idiot! But before I could finish my sentence, I was hit in the face by the man in front of me. He probably took her action as an opportunity to hit me by surprise. I almost lost my balance, but was somehow able to keep my ground. If I stumbled right now, I would fall on her. A second hit came, and had no other choice but to take it yet again. I fell on a knee. At that moment, she finally understood what was happening as she decided to protect me from up front instead. Leave him alone! Don't you see he's not in any position to fight? The guy did stop by her words, but he did say something along the line of, next time, know with whom you are dealing with, punk. Before leaving us, though, he just conquered the world. As though he just conquered the world. I stayed close to the ground for some time while he kept on hugging me. I sensed rage welling up inside of me, and the only thing she thought to say was, "I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry." Her useless apologies only fueled my anger. I got up from the ground without looking at her and started walking towards the nearest bar. I wanted to be alone. I knew what would happen if she kept on following me, but sure enough, there was nowhere for her to go. I drank a couple of shots on my own. She was sitting next to me, but I ignored her. She didn't ask for a drink herself, nor did she start a conversation. But she kept on looking at me. I was the center of her whole world. That's how I felt at that very moment. After that, I went outside, dejectedly. I was so drunk, I don't even know how I was able to walk so straight. That is, if I was really walking straight to begin with. It was nighttime, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. She was shivering somehow. She repeated that she was cold, multiple times over. I didn't really understand how it was possible since it was relatively hot at that moment. I lit a cigarette and simply looked at one point in the space without thinking much of anything, until... Hold me. Please, I'm cold. She wanted me to hold her, ridiculously enough. Get lost. She was annoying. But I want to be close to you. Please. She didn't change gear even though I was so frigid towards her. She never did, but tonight it was even more than that. She outright showed her dependence on me. No. She approached me nonetheless. The moment her hand touched me, I pushed her hard to the ground. She fell on her butt, her face silently contorting in pain. Others were looking at me. It seemed like I was the bad guy tonight. I couldn't care less. I didn't feel anything. I looked at her, emotionlessly. She staggered back to her feet, and when she did, she kept her smile on her face, only looking at me. She walked again towards me and said, "Again." She wanted to be pushed again. Whoa, wait a sec. Wait, I just thought of something just now. Okay, so if she's what she is right now, of how I perceive her, a masochist or sadist or whatever. I can't remember which one of the two it is, but back then when he pushed her on the ground at the snow fort or whatever, the King of the Mountain Hill, during the wintertime in elementary. So when he pushed her hard on the ground, that means back then she fucking loved it, bro. I don't know, but this is what I'm getting at so far. Yo, holy. Okay, anyways, sorry. Alright. She wanted to be pushed again. What the fuck was her problem? Well, not that I really minded. When she touched me again, I pushed her in the same fashion I did before. Sorry, I'm professional. Sorry, my phone was ringing. She again stumbled on the ground, got back on her feet, and walked up to me. I started laughing. How the fuck was she so stupid? Doesn't she understand how mad I am right now? Do I even understand it myself? I pushed her. On the ground, she was laughing like me. She was laughing like me, I guess. But this time, she had a hard time getting back up. People were eyeing us as though we were not part of their world, another species entirely. You're such an airhead sometimes. My anger had totally dissipated thanks to her stupid act. I helped her back on her feet and we entered the casino anew. She was happy. She had locked arms with me and she was holding me so tight I had no other choice but to leave her to her own devices. She walked past a multitude of tables, all of which had different ways of carelessly losing your money. She took notice of one in particular. "I want to try this one. Give me 20. Alright. I gave it to her happily, somewhat intrigued by her sudden desire to play a game. Since we got here, she was always simply looking my way, happy to see me gamble with no interest in participating herself. She puts the chip the croupier gave to her on the number 0. Well, wait, you do know how this works, right? Yeah, what of it? You know you only have one chance of 37 while playing like this. Sure. That roulette started turning, and soon enough the little ball slowed down to stop inside one slot in particular. And sure enough, that slot was the number. Shh. Wait, what? Yay, I won, babe! How is this fucking possible? Yeah, I know, less than 3% is still more than 0. Still. She had won a little bit more than $700. She wanted to give it to me, but I didn't accept it. Even if she didn't necessarily work for it, it feels as though she used a lot of her unused luck to win it. She bought us 2 bottles of wine and we finished the night at our hotel. She was on top of me. She looked at me with those passionate eyes of hers. She had a letter opener in her hands. It was lying around on the bedside table, I think. The moment she noticed it, she took it hastily as though she had a great idea. She then said, "I want to write my name on your body with this. Can I?" A letter opener? I said, "Sure." Carelessly, without ever breaking eye contact with her, I looked at every moment with great interest. She applied pressure on my stomach with the edge of the thing, but it didn't do much good. Her name was there all right, but it would probably disappear in less than 5 minutes. She was too soft. Still, she was satisfied with the result. I wasn't. She looked at my stomach contemplatively. I took the opportunity to grab the hand with which she had held the letter opener and pushed it harder on my belly. "What are you? This is how you do it. If you want to appropriate me, do it properly." Appropriate you? I didn't reply to her. My eyes were enough to convey my thoughts. I don't want to hurt you. If you don't wanna, then get off of me. She cried right then. She cried. But while doing so, she started carving her name on my body thoroughly, because those weren't tears of sorrow. She was genuinely happy. Chapter 9. The second day. It's getting a little, weird, guys. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I don't know. Alright, well, anyways. The next day, I woke up with one of those fucking headaches. The ones where you can't even stand straight. Was that wine there? No. The first thing I noticed was the blood on the bed sheets. At first, I thought she might have been on her period, but soon remembered the reason as I tried to get up on my feet. My stomach was stinging as hell. When I looked at what she has done, I was extremely disturbed. She didn't go easy on me, alright. Not that I would have wanted it any other way. I had to think of buying rubbing alcohol or else it will start infecting like shit. The next thing I noticed was my face in the mirror. That guy didn't go easy on me either. My right eye was swollen and had a nasty bruise on my cheek as well. She too looked rather pathetic herself. Her ass and lower back were quite irritated, probably because of me keeping on pushing her to the ground the night prior. And I must have been a bit too rough during sex last night, since she had faint blue marks on her forearms. And we're not even talking about the headache she must have had too. So what did we do the first thing in the morning? We started drinking. What else? We already looked fucking disastrous, so we needed to at least play the part as well. And after a couple of beers, I proudly say that the headache had subdued considerably. So when it is all said and done, it wasn't such a bad idea in the end. She wanted to go to the Ferris wheel. Yep, there's a Ferris wheel in Las Vegas, the biggest in the world even. It is called the High Roller Ferris wheel, if I remember correctly. It's a huge thing that takes almost 30 minutes simply to take one complete rotation. And even though I tried to explain to her it would be the best to ride that kind of attraction during the night, she wouldn't listen to any of it, as if the damn thing would run on its own or something. In the end, I had no other choice but to comply with her nagging demand. Sometimes she can be very persuasive, I should say. Not that I actually want to explain why. So her first statement upon seeing the thing from up close was, "What? It's so huge! It might be so scary. It might be a bit too scary now that we're actually here." You're not going to pussy out on me, are you? You were the one who dragged me all the way here, so now there's no way I'm going back without seeing what on top of it. You hear? It's probably just some clouds and stuff. Let's just go Let's just go, alright? Oh, no. You won't run away that easily. I put my arm around her hips and bring her really close to me. She's become pretty much my prisoner the moment I got a hold of her. What are you doing? Let go! I don't want to go! Oh. Are you sure you want me to let go? She blushes the moment she hears my words, and finally says faintly as though she's surrendered. No, please, keep on holding me like this. In the end, she did ride it, but she sat on me the whole time. Since it's the biggest Ferris wheel in the world, the passengers' cars are quite spacious indeed. The advantage being that we can stand inside and walk from one end to the next. From the downside, is that we're forced to ride it with strangers. And that, in and of itself, is a deal breaker for me. The idea of even riding it was scaring the shit out of her earlier, but now she's completely engrossed in the view, pointing towards things we've seen on our way over here, or making comments on things she thought was bigger and whatnots. I wonder if she was even scared to begin with. Maybe it was all just act to be able to sit on me the whole ride. What a sly woman. Still, she earned it in the moment I bought it. Suddenly, she broke her easygoingness and took a tone she doesn't usually take. Tim, answer me seriously, alright? I'm always serious. What was up with her? I didn't like the way she was bringing things along. She removed her glasses and looked me in the eyes. Do you regret coming all the way here with me? What are you saying, idiot? I was the one who brought you here with me. There's no way I would regret any of it. Yeah, but that's because it still hasn't been a week since we ran away. In no time, I'm sure you will change your mind, and when that time comes, you'll hold it against me. Since when do you care what I think of you? She averts her eyes from mine and gazes at the ground instead. She doesn't ignore my senseless words like she normally does. I might have really hurt her this time around. I guess I always had a poor tact. As long as I have your name on my stomach, I won't forget the reason we've done this. And if I forget, nonetheless, you'll be the one reminding me, alright? If only I could. She takes my face in her hands. She traces every turn and corners of it before kissing me dearly. You're so gentle. You're the most gentle man I have ever known. And I've noticed this kindness since the first moment I laid eyes on you. What is she saying? She must be blind, or else I'm the only man she's ever looked at. No, I'm a vile and disgusting man. Anyone will sooner or later hate me, even her. I should be the one saying this to her, that she's gentle, that she's perfect. Yet, I say none of those things. I know the moment I open my mouth, I will destroy this moment that seems so perfect. Chapter 10. Something more cozy. I think that was cozy. After the ride, she told me she wanted to change hotel rooms. I didn't understand why. Our current one was already more than enough for the little what we actually use it for. But again, she pestered me saying things like, I want something more cozy, and it's with the money I've won, so it shouldn't be a problem, right? I didn't really care either way. The only thing that was a bit of a letdown was the fact that we've already paid for our old hotel room for another 2 nights, so it was kind of a waste. And since we didn't have an infinite amount of money, we would sooner or later be confronted with the fact that we're not beyond the law of society. While driving around for a while, she finally said, "There, let's go there!" I parked in front of the thing reluctantly and stated the obvious. What the fuck do you mean there? It's a fucking motel! Our old place is way better than this shithole! But I would feel so much more comfortable in this one. Are you for real? The type of cheap-ass motel you often see on TV where you park right in front of the room. A nest of prostitutes. That's what this place is. There probably isn't even one security camera installed here. Else there would be a lot more fewer clients using the damn place. It's not the type of place you would normally call cozy. But then again, I am supposed to be with a prostitute right now. Aren't I? I'll go take care of the room. Wait right here. She says so while getting out of the car. No, I'll come with you. No, that's alright. I want to do this on my own. Do this on her own? What is she babbling about? Is she trying to be more independent or something? Doesn't she realize that she's already 21? I decided to close my mouth and wait. Nothing good would come from arguing with her. She returned after 5 minutes and we entered our new room. It was pretty plain, like I imagined it would be. I put down the little we brought with us on the floor, and she instantly says, "Let's go to a bar or something. It's on me." But we've literally just arrived. But I want a drink, and you know I want to. Let's just have fun like yesterday. Sure. Let's have fun every day from now on. I want to say those words. I wonder why I forced myself not to tell them. I wonder why I always force myself to do things a certain way. Well, that was short. That was a short chapter. Chapter 11. The best day of her like? Yikes. Anyways, we drank, and later that night we danced. We went to a club this time around. I was not a good dancer at all, very awkward indeed, but she didn't care. She smiled nonetheless. She would always smile no matter what, and it was a beautiful night. A beautiful night, something I would rarely even notice before then. This week was the best days of my entire life. She pointed out while moving close to me. We were on the dance floor, but she didn't move with the crowd. We were standing there, looking at each other, moving slowly while eating each other's eyes. Her eyes were things out of this world. This does look like a place where you would say these kinds of things. I looked around. There were a lot of beautiful colors flashing. The music was moving us without our consent, and the ambience gave the impressions that we were on top of the world. It was a beautiful night indeed. I'm not talking about this place, she said without blinking. Nor am I talking about this city. I'm talking about you. Only you. Do you believe me? Yeah, I do. How can I not with those eyes of hers? Good. She kissed me deeply for a long, long time. She then muttered out something I had a hard time understanding because of the music. But you shouldn't. What did you say? She touched my lower abdomen. Nothing. She hugged me for the most part of the night. I was happy there was no accident tonight. No shouting, no pushing. I was glad. How stupid I was, not understanding that the night has yet to be over. Okay, we were so drunk we had no other choice but to finish the night at our old hotel room. It was conveniently a lot closer to the club we were at than the atrocious motel room she rented earlier today. It was when she was taking a shower I noticed something on the ground. A business card or something. I unconsciously took it roughly into my hands and studied it. It was a man's, and on the back it was written, "Call me." Already I was pissed. I didn't know why. She got out of the shower and dressed up. I then instantly confronted her. "What the fuck is this?" She glanced at the piece of paper with no reaction. "I don't know. What is it?" "Don't fuck with me. It's written it's written 'Call me' at the back. Who is he?" "I have no idea." "Henry." I read the name of the card. I noticed a slight reaction on her part. "So you know him?" "Well," she starts off, "there was a man who tried to talk to me while you were buying us a drink. He told me his name was Henry, but I didn't want to talk to him, even less take his card. Always conveniently while I'm away. Then what is this then? I throw the card at her. I don't know! You must have put it inside my coat pocket or something. You know I wouldn't do that, babe. I started walking towards the exit. Tim? Where are you going? Tim? None of your business. No, wait, Tim, you're not thinking of finding that guy, are you? And what if I am? She instantly tries to get in between me and the door, saying that she can't pass in front of me. She quickly decides to hug me tightly from behind instead. Get away from me. No, don't leave me like this. This was supposed to be a night for the both of us. Don't you understand they're all making fun of you? I don't care. Let's drink, let's have sex, let's have some fun together. That's the only thing that matters to me. Don't you understand that tonight is very important to me? Is she trying to control me? She is, isn't she? Trying to make me feel as though I'm so important to her. Then, all of a sudden, a thought crossed my mind. There was no logic behind it. The booze must have been at it. Yet I was so compelled to think it's true. Is that why? I asked her as though she knew what I was referring to. Why what? Is that why you rented the other room at the motel to meet with other men? That's why you pushed me to drink past my limit all night, eh? Huh? Wait, no, there's no way I would do such a thing. You keep telling me this, but is that even true? You're a prostitute after all, aren't you? I don't even know you. I don't know her. I thought I did. But there's no way such a girl would love a loser such as myself. The moment those words leave my mouth, I see it in her eyes. I see that I've hurt her more than I ever did. Still, her hold on me never weakened even then. It irritates me to such an extent. I said, get off of me. She refuses. Still, I shake her off aggressively. The result, she hits her head hard on the right wall right next to us and falls to the ground pitiably. I froze stiff. I didn't mean to hurt her. I instantly look back at her to make sure she's okay. Are you all right? I need to help her. Those were my thoughts. Until... I'm fine. Thanks. She flashes me a bright smile, even though she looks quite in pain. I have no right to help her. I try again to direct myself to the door, but she gets a hold of my leg in return. Please, don't go. I try to walk nonetheless, but she puts everything to it. The thought of shaking her off almost became a reality, but then I remembered what I just did. So instead, I dropped down to the floor and sat right next to her, defeated. She lies her head down on me as if nothing ever happened. Yet, I still felt anger. What a kid I am. Yeah, what a kid you are. Later on, I drank the bottle of champagne all by myself and passed out in front of the door, thinking of blocking her way as if she ever had the thought of trying to leave. Chapter 12. Something to realize sooner. Alright, this might be the last chapter here before I head out. So, let's hope it's a good one, guys. Alright. One sec. The next day, I felt disgusted with myself. Not because I was hungover or anything of the sort. No. The moment my eyes opened, I knew. I knew I did something wrong. I don't remember all that much. Probably the effect of alcohol, but I knew nonetheless. Why was I always acting so childishly? Even if she did want to see other men, who was I to try and stop her? I knew all along, right? That she's a prostitute? She's been sleeping with men before me, and will after me. Yet I'm always so... Jealousy is a byproduct of love, or so they say. I should apologize. If I apologize and explain myself, then maybe I can salvage a bit of this relationship we have together. It was only when I laid my eye upon her that I understood that I went too far. Oh, yikes. She was doing something for breakfast. She wasn't the type to cook, so what she was doing was pretty straightforward. But when she turned around to ask me if I wanted eggs with my toast, that's when I noticed. Well, was I the one who did this to you? She unconsciously touched her forehead by my words, and looked down on her feet right after. No, baby, that wasn't you. I remember having pushed her yesterday, but was it really that strongly? On her forehead? There was on her forehead there was a nasty black mark on the side of her lips. There was a bruise too. And I also noticed that she had differently walking. Oh my god, difficulty walking. Sorry guys. Holy. Even though she was trying so hard to hide it. Then I remembered those voices inside of me, pushing me, almost pleading with me to destroy her. I went too far. Now I realize it, all of this. We can't go on like this anymore. If we could continue even for a night longer, I might really kill her. Even though I brought her here to protect her from them, I now realize that I was the one she should have been protected from. I need to end this. Maybe if I act quickly enough, maybe it isn't too late. Where's your phone? My phone? Why would you need my phone? I need your phone. Now! I don't have it with me. It must be with the things we brought to the motel. Then I need to go find it. Wait, we can do that later, right? No, right now. I might not have the courage later. I reach for my keys, but she embraces me tightly before I do. This actually surprises me enough to lose my balance, and I fell on the bed. She falls on top of me. She proceeds to kiss every inch of my face without end, every time saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. I need to go. Yet she didn't budge. I love you, I love you, I love you. I decided that this situation would lead us nowhere. I can't show affection. Not now, out of all times. Not wanting to hurt her any further than I already did, I get up to my feet while lifting her and keeping her close to my arm. It's like a piggyback, but in reverse. She has her face on my chest, and I can feel my shirt getting wet from her tears. I have her ass in my hands to support her, and I'm actually kind of happy with this situation since I very much like her ass. I walked her all the way to the car in this position, not minding the breakfast she did for the both of us. She didn't want to let go of me, but everything has an end, doesn't it? The ride to the motel was a silent one. She was looking at the sky, completely devoid of expression. What is happening to her? Is there something she doesn't want me to see at the motel? Not that I mind, really. She has every right. I can no longer try to control her. I can no longer. We got out of the car, and surprisingly, she led the way. She unlocked the door and opened it for me. As soon as we entered, I directed myself to our bags. I took both our phones and walked back to her. Sorry, I need to do something alone. Wait for me here, will you? She didn't answer. She looked at me with those eyes that I almost forgot about. Her darkness met mine. I tried to ignore her and passed by her, but she didn't let me. Move. Say, do you love me? She finally asked it. She never did before, but now she did. I don't have time for this. Answer me. Do you love me? I said, move! I lifted my hand at her mechanically, and she didn't cower. She didn't blink. She didn't fear me at all. It didn't work. Well, Sure it didn't. It didn't because I would never hit her. Do you love me? I don't have a choice, do I? Yes, I do. A dark smile. Enough to throw your life away from me? Yes. I say so with complete certainty. I see. Her smile disappears. I try to move again, but she blurts out something unexpected the moment I do so. Well, let's go back to the other hotel room. Let's have one last night, and you can go do whatever you want. Sorry, but I can't. What I'm about to do is because I love you, Cassandra. She bites her lips hard before returning her eyes on me. She tried. For that, she tried to smile, but couldn't, which created this expression in between happiness and complete despair. You said it. You finally said it. My full name. Didn't I ever call her by her full name before? I try to say something. Anything. But she shakes her head from left to right. She opens the door behind her to let me out. I'll walk past her coldly. If only she knew how much I love her. How much I would kill for it. And that's exactly why I must do this. Before leaving her sight, she says something to me. Tim, could you go buy me some tampons while you're at it? What? I look back at her. She regained her smile, as though all of this was just an act. Please, I kinda need it, you know? Can't be helped, I guess. I pass my hand inside of my hair before waving goodbye at her. She doesn't follow suit. She simply looks at me until I turn the corner. What is she? Alright. Chapter 13. A puzzling call. Okay. I did say that was... I had to go, so that I'm gonna have to save that here. Yes. Yeah, not a lot happened. Actually, no, sorry. At the very end, that's where some stuff started to happen with the whole "Do you love me?" whole bit, and that realization earlier where she liked it. She liked being pushed and carving her name onto Tim's stomach. She was genuinely happy. Is what the text wrote. So weird, okay? Weird relationship from the both of them. I don't know what to really think of it, but hey, it's we're getting somewhere in the story, guys. I don't know how long this game is, but I really hope some of you guys are watching this along this journey that we're both going on with the game. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next part of Her Lie I Tried to Believe. See you guys.